Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. It's gonna take a little while. But what I'm gonna do, since we have like 2 minutes as people jump on, I'm going to use this time to share this video. If you want to share it, you totally can. And oh, here we go. All right. So share in a group. I gotta share in this group. We got like 30 seconds to do so. Rev. Oh, that's right. I wish there was a way, and maybe there is, and you guys let me know. Is there a way that you could do this before going live, or once you go live is the only time you can truly share it? Because this is another reason why we come on a little early, right? What's up? Say your name, where you're from, all that good jazz, and what you're gonna get, what you'd like to get out of today, because we want to answer questions. So let me know. Keep me posted. We got like 30 seconds. Share the page. All right. Because we got to start at 9:30 on the dot. Prima Ruben, post. It's crazy, right? Huh? Hey, y'all. What's up, Caitlin? I heard you're not coming back. No bueno. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about entrepreneurial lifestyle, couples, and we want to answer any questions you guys got. So, yeah, we have 10 questions that we're going to be answering that came in, along with a cool little site at the end that has some cool stuff in it that maybe you might get interested in. So, yeah. All right, it's 9:30. I wish.
Can you see who's here? I can never figure this out on when I'm
So they usually have it here, but sometimes
like it says 5, but you can never.
So what I'm gonna do, because usually it's better to see it on the app. Again, these are things that we exactly. I'm gonna turn this down. Boom. All right. Okay. All right. Hello. So what we're going to be talking about today is entrepreneurial lifestyle, which probably isn't the sexiest thing truly behind the scenes. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Kind of a unique scenario where both of us run our businesses and we have a family and all that. So we want to be able to answer questions you guys have. So whatever you come up with or something that strikes you as whatever, reach out, put it in the comments, and we're going to be transparent. Do you want to be transparent?
Yep.
We're going to be transparent today. So ask those questions. Let me go back here. All right. So number one question, how do you manage time? How do you manage time?
Map it out. Calendars. This guy loves his calendars. But I think we each have our own individual ways that we handle it. And then we kind of come together and go over what we have going on and then go from there.
Yeah. No, I mean, do you think it'd be possible if we didn't put our whole life on the calendar?
No. We would constantly have issues trying to figure out what was going on each day. So that's how we operate.
Yeah, I mean, and some people are like, they feel weird about putting their personal life on the calendar, like even like date nights and movie nights, and when she has to do something with some of her people in her business and all that. And we didn't even introduce what we do, but I guess we'll do that next. Everything has to be on the calendar. Like you have to go ahead and document everything. It's the best way to do it. And I believe it shows us gaps and like these huge holes in our calendar that we could add stuff or take out stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting on his calendar game, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It definitely helps for sure.
So what do you do is what we should have started off with.
For managing time, so I map out, so I do AIRBNBs and set up AIRBNBs. I do staging and all that kind of thing. So are we talking about how we manage it from there?
No, just like what do you do?
Okay.
Like what's your business?
That's what I do. Interior decorating, staging, AIRBNB setup, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So there was a gap in the market and she jumped right into it. If she looks like she's doing this, she's reading comments.
I'm reading, sorry.
You were like,
I'm like, I also left my glasses downstairs, so that's why.
Hashtag getting older.
And then we fight sometimes too. So.
Definitely some arguing that goes on. But yeah, so what we'll do on our side is the coaching or consulting. We'll also do real estate investing, which is where obviously she jumps in, helps us out a ton. And then we do the real estate agent side of the business. So we close homes, help people buy homes and help people sell homes. But cool, we just got a question in, so let's go ahead and ask that. Or yeah, let's ask that.
It's a good question too.
What is it? Oh, how are y'all managing paying yourselves?
That's very funny because I'm working on getting that worked out right now. I guess that's more of a question for him because he's more experienced at that part of it. But I am working on setting up a separate account to have all of those funds go in there, as opposed to, because right now most of my expenses are coming out of my business account, and that's what we were actually just having this conversation the other day because I need to make a trip to First Citizens. So, and then that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same. And I think even though I might have more experience in something, they still may get a lot of value off almost the beginning side of it, you know?
Yeah.
But you do hit a point, like she hit a point to where she needs to start seeing what that looks like and paying herself. And ultimately, it's easier than what it sounds.
Right.
You just make an account. Like just get started making an account for your taxes, make an account for your business, meaning like that's where all the revenue goes and that's how you pay your expenses. And then personal. Now, in the beginning, especially as an entrepreneur, you're going to be using your personal account to fund your business. I mean, your business isn't going to fund itself. You haven't made any money yet. And so don't get too caught up in paying yourself. I think in the long run, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in business to pay for myself. And after you think expenses and taxes, you go to net, you can start looking at that, right? Of paying yourself. I would suggest not paying yourself a lot. Not in the beginning, because you're going to have to fund a lot of great things that are going to come down the pipeline. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I also think having just an idea, already kind of mapping out where your income is coming from and where it's going, like all, what you owe in taxes and what you pay for this, and this. So you have a good idea and a good understanding of what money you're making and where it's all going to go, then I think that's a big help too.
Yeah, because then you start to see how much you have left over.
Right.
Right. Because if you look at the book Profit First, you have accounts for everything. Even a actually that's what it is. You pay yourself first account. But that might be a good book for you, Vince, to check that out and on managing paying yourself. Yeah. But in terms of bills, how do we've kind of calculated that, and then we alter money in each other's accounts, and it gets paid off every month. Yeah. Good question though. If you guys have more questions, keep doing it, because it gets crazy when you have two people trying to make this thing work. But I'll move to question number 2, which is, how do you both support each other? So how do you support me, and how do I support you?
I guess communication is probably one of the biggest things, just talking about things that we have going on. I think we both have different perspectives of things and different backgrounds, obviously. And so when we come up against some kind of struggle or confusion or something in our business, being able to talk about it and hear the other person's perspective is really helpful.
Yeah, I think we're made from two different cloths. I could go straight solution mode and not think that maybe I should be listening to my wife right now. I struggle with that. It's just, if there's a problem, I go straight solution, and I kind of go over all the emotion and just don't wipe that away when sometimes you just need to listen. And again, I'm struggling with that. That is not something I've mastered at all. But I'll definitely say that communication is huge. But communication isn't just talking; it's listening, and I need to do a better job. So
y'all heard it here.
I'll take this part out. But yeah, no, I think yeah, communication is huge. But that's with everything, right? Even in your business, you have employees who are having challenges, right? Talking about it. There's a quote that goes, "Come from curiosity and just try to figure out the problem." Maybe there's something bad happening in their life. Maybe she got some banging Starbucks, or at least she thought it was, took a sip and it sucked. And then, it's just throughout the whole day. So you just come from curiosity as well.
I like how that was your example for me.
You love
I
Starbucks.
do love Starbucks. I'm sorry.
And yeah, and hey, they say what is it? Something comes from expectations. Anyways, it's a good quote. I'll look it up later. Very inspiring. Thank you. That was the most perfect and genuine response. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, keep throwing questions. Hit that heart. Share with anybody that you think needs to hear this, because it's a struggle. But definitely supporting each other is huge.
Yeah.
Because the entrepreneur is, and would you agree? It's like 80% fail, 20% win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of failing, and when your spouse comes home and they're upset, and they're, especially entrepreneurial world, like, it's not a 9 to 5.
Right.
You come home, you carry it, you're thinking about it when you're eating, when you're taking a shower, when you're in bed, when you're trying to sleep, when you wake up, and sometimes it weighs heavy, and you gotta be understanding of that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of failures that happen. How
For
do you
sure.
deal with the failures?
You just asked, like, I was just thinking about it. So a lot of you probably know that I used to teach, and I loved teaching. It was great. It was a great career, and I loved working with the kids. However, it got to a point that there were just so many expectations beyond just teaching the kids, that, work you had to take home with you and all the other things, that it was just super, super overwhelming. And I got to a point that I was ready to go. All that to say that, entrepreneurship it's a lot of headaches too. It's a lot of like figuring out how I'm going to make this work, a lot of logistics and money and assistance. As you probably all saw, I just am looking for a new assistant now, and it's a lot of those things. But at the end of the day, it's still like, if it's what you want to do, then, and it's your passion, then it's all worth it. So which, I loved teaching, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still doing tutoring, so I can still like scratch that itch, and I love still, working with kids and stuff. But decorating and interior design and all of that is more, my passion and makes me happy. So all these little pieces that kind of work together to get, make it happen is kind of just, it's all worth it at the end of the day. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like the small wins they like supersede all the failures.
Yeah.
Although there's like 2 wins out of 10, it's so great and it feels so good that it supersedes the 8 times you failed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty rewarding.
And it's cool to have the control of how you're going to handle things too. It's, as opposed to getting a win and then kind of just, whatever they say to do next is what you're going to do next. It's like, oh, this is how I'm going to do that instead, or I'm going to take it this direction now. It's cool to have that opportunity.
Agreed. Mia, you got a question. When are you working together? Is it difficult to separate yourselves when you're working from being married? Do you mean as like working together versus being a couple? Like, is that what you get from that?
When you're working together, is it difficult to separate yourselves when you're working from being married? Yeah.
Is that what?
I think that's what you mean.
So how do you feel? Like, how do you handle that? Is it a big challenge?
No, because I'm married to a full-time 24/7 entrepreneur. I think I have just gotten so used to the way he does things that it just carries over into everything, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I mean, we do have fun, and we like get to like have our date nights and stuff too. And we honestly, I think it's probably the other way around. It's harder to separate like work from like married life. But
Right.
I mean, overall, I think, especially since we're both doing it now, then it's not, it kind of works out because we both have like the similar conversations going on. So
Yeah, no, I mean, uh, I would say cars was my first love. And then, entrepreneurship and just that hustle was my second. Like, if I had to get rid of that for her, I would not be a happy guy. Right. And like, same, if I told you to get rid of your passions to be with me, you would always, you
right.
just wouldn't be happy. So I think, I don't know, it's a good mesh. Because we both do what we like to do. And although it was very risky to take that jump, we're both doing what we like to do. And I think at the end of the day, it just makes it work. So there's not a separation, I don't think. I always say that a series of small wins are why we are in this business. Yep, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3, how do you know whose calendar to take precedence? And Danielle sent that question. That's an awesome question. So out of my calendar versus your calendar, which one takes precedence?
No, I'm just kidding. So I think what we like during the day, we both kind of do our own thing. If he usually has, things that he's doing, and I either have things I'm doing at home or things I can take the little one with me to, or we have a really good babysitter now, which is awesome. So we have her come in and I go do whatever I need to do. So during the weekday, there's that. And then during like evenings and weekends, I think we just kind of look at like what we have to do. And if it's like of utmost importance that we both get something done, then we still go our separate ways. If not, then we kind of just rank it from importance and go get it done in that order. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, something we've done a real good job of is saying, hey, what do you have going on next Thursday at 3 o'clock? And it goes right back to the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that there's a certain calendar that takes precedence. I think it's a certain activity that will take precedence if the calendar supports it.
Yeah.
If none of us have something in there, then plug it in. Now that takes precedence. Now that's number one. Okay, so what if both things we feel takes precedence? Which one wins? Like say if we both need that slot, but we've done a really good job of having a babysitter now. Because the only thing is we have kids. So I guess you would think like, oh man, well one needs to stay home while the other goes run whatever they need to. But we now have a great babysitter that helps.
Yeah.
So both of ours take precedence, really.
As long as we can work it out, then we get it all done.
Yeah, man. Hey guys, hit that heart button, share with anybody that you know.
So funny to like be in this video because I'm usually watching the videos and watching like kind of laughing at him doing that kind of stuff, and I'm just like,
this guy's weird.
Laugh at him in person.
Hey, share it. You get one of these t-shirts or one of these t-shirts. You have a vintage one if you like vintage.
That's right.
That's always an opportunity to hit that heart and share, baby. All right, number 4, best quality to have to make it work. So to make this thing work together, what do you think is the best quality that the couple needs to have? She told me about 1,000 times last night what it was.
Patience.
Patience? Well, what does that mean? What do you mean by patience?
Sitting there like rambling all these things off. I don't even actually know. I don't remember what we're talking about now, but
Me neither.
yeah, it just takes patience. I think it takes patience on your own part of dealing with just all of the working pieces, and then it also takes patience of understanding that they are dealing with just as many working pieces, and you're both trying to figure out how you're going to make it work. So
yeah, I think understand the best you can in that moment of who they are in that moment, because sometimes they may be going through something crazy. So you just gotta, for me again, big struggle, because I want something to be done pretty fast, and that can mess some things up. So I guess wherever you're at in the moment is to kind of be self-aware of that and adjust on where you should go. So being flexible in conversation or flexible in understanding, I guess, would be a great quality, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just patience. Probably just patience. What questions do you guys got? Make them do a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what qualities do you guys think are important? And I mean, either been just in your own businesses or if you and your spouse both do your own businesses.
What would you say is the best quality to have?
Or heck, just in marriage or relationships in general.
Yeah. I think love language is huge.
Yeah.
Knowing the love language, because I fail on that part. So I have to bring in help. I bring in help though, right?
Yeah.
So love language is a good way to kind of spear what that might be. Trust is huge.
For sure.
So I'll give you an example. Bill, thank you, is when I was yeah?
I think.
Go for it.
No,
go for it. What do you think I'm going to say?
No, I don't want to say it.
Go for it.
When you were in real estate and you worked with a bunch of gorgeous women.
Oh, no, that wasn't it.
Sussy. But when he was in real estate and I had all these pictures with all these pretty agents, and I was like, for like a week or so, and then I was like, okay, no, we're good.
That's when we first started dating.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Threw that out there.
Listen, there's a lot of beautiful people. Right? Yep, in real estate. I feel like there's a lot of, like you've entered real estate in a way, and you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
See what I did there? Guys, take note. But no, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh no, trust is huge because, when I was the CEO of Keller Williams Fayetteville and I was deciding to leave that position for a full commission job, which is going right back into the entrepreneurial world, um, we were buying a new house and she was pregnant. And I asked, like, hey, what does this look like? Because I'm jumping out of security and moving into 100% commission. I either make it or I don't. And we're buying a house and you're pregnant. She was like, go for it. So she was like, anything you usually put yourself, like, apply yourself with, you'll make it. So that was huge trust, huge trust. So that was good. That was good. What other questions you guys got? I'm going to move to the next question. What have you seen that doesn't work? We'll skip past that. Is it scary knowing there isn't a guaranteed income with 2 kids? Because I've heard this question before.
Yes and no. I think the fact that we are doing a lot of passive income helps a lot too, because even though that's also not guaranteed, it's a cushion. So even I think that we have a lot to fall back on. So we have like a lot of little, I don't know what you would call that, little like niches of income that kind of help support everything. So if one doesn't bring in as much income as we are expecting for 1 month, then we can kind of fall back on other income sources.
Yeah, agreed. Like there's a few things there that I hear. One, to say that you have a 9 to 5 and it's secure is crazy. How many people lost their job because of this magic virus that rolled around, right? And I say that because sometimes we get edited from the social media platforms if we actually say the word. But there's not security, man. There's not security. That's false. There's no security. You're the only one that could build that blanket, the security blanket, or put it together. So I think that's false. Number 2, yeah, we got big on that. Like for like a little over a year, I want to say, we got like, well, what if we die basically? And how do we create something that has that cushion of security? So we got big on passive income plays has been huge for us. And I could say that one of us could die now. I don't want you to die. I love you. But, or something could happen and we would have enough to at least pay for the expenses and all that. So, yeah. Passive income is life. It's my saving grace to build a business. I can relate 100%. John, if you don't mind being a little transparent, I'm always that guy. Like when I used to do classes, if someone spoke up, I'm like, tell me more about that. And they're like, God, well, I ain't going to speak up again. But whole life insurance, yeah, that's huge too. We have that as well. My buddy, oh my God, State Farm, Hayes McDowell, he takes care of us. But John, what passive income sources do you have that you feel is some kind of security for you? You want to ask anything? You got anything?
Good question.
What other questions you guys got? I'm gonna move to the next one. How do you know when a venture may be too risky? And in terms of too risky for the family, like one of us says, how do you know when what would be too risky to say like we're not going to do that right now, because it puts the whole, because I think single people can do this and like it's all on them, but when you have a family and kids,
well, kind of, because then if you're a single person and your income fails, then you also have nothing else coming in.
Yeah, but I'll say this, which people hate me for saying this sometimes, is that I don't know if you can hit rock bottom in terms of not making money. I don't know if that's a thing, because the government will be there to grab your hand and try to help you through government assistance. Because by the way, I was that guy. I wasn't making enough money, but that's when I realized like, oh, you can go crazy, right? You can go just take mad risk. You're not going, like the government will be like, oh, here's food stamps. Oh, here's this. Here's subsidize this. They want, they kind of want you on those programs, but just know, obviously that's not your forever play, but I don't know if you can hit the floor, like truly, but maybe I'm wrong and maybe you guys correct me and tear me up in the comments. So, yeah, but is there one that's like too risky for the family?
I would just say if something you're putting out you're never going to have a guarantee, but it's more either money or time is not like when you do the math, it's not going to bring back, or doesn't really have much of a chance of bringing back an equal
like the risk to
or
reward.
yeah, greater value. That would be my.
No, that makes sense. I agree with that. That's actually a way better answer. I was trying to think of an answer, but yeah, man, if the reward is not exceeding the risk, it's not that you're going to hurt the family. It's just good business practice does this make sense to move forward with?
Right.
Yeah, risk to reward. I like it. If you like that answer, hit the heart, hit that share button. Looks like John closing on another 120 units this week. So yeah, I mean, he's small time, not much. Doesn't look like he's doing much out there. Just this week, may close 120 units. Down. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm with DXP, and we're probably gonna in the long run sell the stock to buy real property, stuff we could touch. We believe in real estate. That's kind of where we are at in both of our businesses, is attached to real estate. Mm-hmm. All right, remember, guys, look, we're gonna answer any questions you have, so be transparent, or we'll be transparent. Ask any questions that are on your mind. You want to say anything to him before I move on?
I don't think so.
All right. Number 8, scariest time you faced and how'd you get through it? Start with you.
Business. Building a business.
Yeah, like business, but remember, like kind of tying it into couple stuff too.
That's a good one. I think there's probably a couple. I think one of them was when I left teaching, because I had already started a vintage life kind of in a past life, like the different, like when I started it, right. It was all vintage. And then I had kind of taken a break from that, and then the opportunity kind of presented itself to leave teaching, and I wasn't sure what to do because of that security, like that, retirement and the health insurance and all of the other, this set job. And, that was really scary to leave that. And I almost didn't. We actually kind of agreed upon it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go back. I'm not quitting. And he's like, what? And then I was like, no. So that was really scary. Definitely worth it. And it definitely, I think, even probably kind of lit a fire under both of us to, like, for me to kind of jump ship and like do the business I've actually wanted to do all along and just was afraid to do. And then with him, I think just kind of working even harder and building the passive income side even more and all of that. So I think that, and then just when I did actually make the transformation to the Vintage Life Design Co., to where I'm doing like staging and interior decorating, that was kind of, well, I guess it was before that, but making that transition too was scary because I didn't know if it would go anywhere. And obviously.
Oh, the what ifs. Would you say it was worth taking that jump and being scared? And
yeah, 100%.
What made it worth it?
Well, the little, like she was just saying, the little wins, all the little wins, like, yeah. And it's just a constant, like, okay, I got that one, now I want to work for this one. Okay, now I got that one, now I want to work for this one. And like, yeah, you'll probably have a bigger goal that you're working toward, but it's just all the little wins in between that make it worth it. So
yeah, agreed. I agree. I think when you take that risk too, like you said, like new things pop up, new opportunities, mm-hmm. but you'll never know or understand those opportunities unless you jump. So many people will say they'll get in their own way and find a way out of taking that jump, and they'll never know what could have been ever,
right.
ever. But they'll convince themselves that they made the right decision. Yeah. So good for you for jumping.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of regret in not doing it too, because I mean, there's so many times I said I was going to leave teaching. I mean, for probably, and don't get me wrong, like I loved teaching. I loved the kids. It was just all the external stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to a point where I was like I have to do it now. I just have to do it now. And I just had Arlie, so the opportunity was there. But you eventually kind of realize that it'll be worth it to be able to experience what you actually want to do.
Yeah, that's that risk to reward, right? Like, is the reward much greater than the risk?
Yeah.
And heck yeah. Because if you remember when I was like, dude, you got to quit, is when she was laying in bed crying one night, just of all the pressure from, and it wasn't the students, right? She loved the teaching that she could do, but
Right.
there's also topward pressure on what she needs to do and how to teach it and blah, blah, blah. And it's a lot of work, man. When these teachers come home, they're not done. There's a lot of work that happens after that. And you got pressure from parents, pressure from school system, and you can never really be free and do it the way you want to do it. And she was just like, bah! And I was like, dude, you want to live the rest of your, screw that. Let's quit. Let's quit. Like, because I love that pressure. I think I thrive in that pressure. But yeah,
Yeah.
to get better, and you did too.
Yeah.
You did too. Yeah, no, for me, it goes back to that same story. You know, I'm leaving a salary position, going back into entrepreneurship while she's pregnant. We're buying a new home. But again, it built that pressure. Like, what other choice do we have?
Yeah.
You got to make it. You got to make it. What'd you guys hear there? Maybe that may have helped you. What questions do you guys have that could maybe go deeper into what we said? And we'll make sure to answer it. Let me see if I can see any on my app. Oh, John just joined under Shelby. That's what I'm talking about. Congrats. Congrats, brother. What else? What else? What else? Hit that heart. Hit that heart and share. How has this impacted your social life, babe?
I don't have any teacher friends.
All the teachers hate her. No, that's not true.
That's a good question. I guess it's given me, honestly, probably just new relationships with other, female entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs in general. I feel like it opens the world up to so many awesome conversations. Like sometimes I feel like he thinks he's like nerding out and like I'm gonna get bored, and sometimes I'm just like, no, I love this. Like so I've started this Wine Wednesday thing on one Wednesday of the month where women entrepreneurs can kind of get together and chat and drink some wine. And it's just awesome because, we kind of talk about what's going on in our businesses and our real lives. And I just think it's opened the door for a lot of new relationships and conversations and things like that. So.
Guess what? It's on the calendar too. So I know not to block
Yeah.
anything during that time.
As soon as I get home from one, I'm like, okay, what's your next month's calendar look like?
Yeah. And that's what we do. We plug it into the calendar. Yeah, I would say that's because I'm not really a big going out person. Oops, not a real big going out person. So I don't know if it's ever really affected my social life. I think what it's done for me is it got rid of a lot of toxic people, because when you enter this world, it's already hard. It's already tough. To add another layer of toxic people is too much. So I would say it's done a good job of weeding out those people, which then your circle fits on one hand at that point, right? Yeah. But she does a really good job of keeping that social life going. But it's just got, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the conversations just have more substance. Would you say, in the social settings, like there's?
Yeah. It's just different, I guess, because I initially that was my thought, but then when I was teaching, I could have all the conversations. But right, I feel it. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just. You have, I guess, a choice of sharing your real experience and not just things that you've been programmed to do. I feel like somebody's listening.
What?
No, about the school systems. But, no, but yeah, I just feel like it's cool to be able to come from, where your business that you built from your own personal experience, and all these things that you have from your personal experience that you were free to kind of do on your own and not do it just because you had to do it because that's what you were told to do.
Yeah. If
that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think also in terms of social life, when you do meet with somebody, it's not games. I mean, I guess it's games sometimes, but when you meet with someone, when you have and not saying this is for everybody, but when you do a 9 to 5, you've kind of, some jobs, right? You clock out, you're done. So when you meet with your friends, it's you just want to let loose, enjoy, kind of just have fun. Where we're at, we're still building. So when we're meeting with people, it has to be some type of purpose behind it, because our whole life is kind of on the line. right? Like the connections, the networking we need to make have to excel all of us. It's not just fun and games. We'll go do something fun maybe, but the conversation has to be purposeful, because we just have, in my mind, there's that risk. Like we can't waste time just kind of talking about nothing. We need to fill it with something that's going to help all boats rise, right? With the tide.
Yep.
Which that can sound harsh. Is that too harsh? Does that sound harsh?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I love you guys. I love you. Share, because I love you. Keeps you connected. Be there soon. Yep, different mindset. I had the same conversation with my wife the other day. Yep, agreed. Let's see. Last question. Last question, guys. Best advice you'd give to an entrepreneurial couple, maybe who's watching or aspires to be one. What would be some of the best advice that you know of that you could give them?
Just communication, I think, is the biggest thing. Just understanding what the other person is wanting out of it, and what they're going for, and what it's going to take to get there. Because it is a grind, and it is a big process, and it's a lot of work personally. But if you can have the other person on your team as well, then it can make that easier. And it's going to also prevent a lot more arguments if they know what to expect, as opposed to just kind of walking into it. If you have a lot going on and they know that, then that's going to help, everything go a lot more smoothly.
Yeah, I think everything stems from communication for sure. I guess one thing, if you're a spouse that has an entrepreneur person as the other spouse, is to get educated on entrepreneurship and like maybe their business just a little bit. Start to understand it. Invest in that as much as you guys invest in the relationship, because that's kind of what it is for that person. It's a new baby, and I think maybe to understand it, so a little bit about what they may be going through. Communication is huge. And there's nothing to say, like you could put something in the calendar where you're meeting, twice a month or once a month to talk about where you guys, like a purposeful one-on-one, where you guys going, what's the conversation, or what's the goal, like just kind of be there with each other through that thing called entrepreneurship. Yeah. I tried making it sound good, and it just, I couldn't piece it together right. Yeah, Traction is a great book. What questions do you guys have? There's a website that I thought was pretty cool. It's a blog, and I'm going to put that link here in these comments along with the description probably. And you guys read it. It's a good one. Maybe you guys read it together. If you do have that spouse that is looking to be an entrepreneur, read it together, because it talks about this. I think it's the wife that, I skimmed through it obviously, but the wife is marrying an entrepreneur. And I think she does a really good job of just talking about the frustrations, what they did to get through it. It's a really good blog. So I'm going to throw that at you guys, read it together. But definitely calendar is huge. Communication. Maybe there's 2 C's. What other C would you add? So we got calendar. Get together on the calendar, guys. It's huge leverage. Communication. So talk about it.
I was going to say support. But then you know what that is? CCS.
We're not trying to invite them back in our lives. Support. Yeah, support's huge. Because sometimes they're going to come home and not want to talk.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What?
No, I was just going to say, because he'll come out to, if I need furniture moved and there's big heavy boxes, and he'll come to a property with me and help me move stuff in. And when he was an agent and even team leader and everything else, we go to open houses together and check them out, support the agents and that kind of stuff. So just kind of like teaming up and making them feel that you're on their team too is huge. I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and be present when you're shadowing them or when you're helping them out. That's huge too. Act like you're interested, because you might start to get interested. Yeah, that'd be huge too. Yeah, I agree. No questions? If there's not any questions, we're going to jump off because we don't waste time. And I can hear our daughter downstairs driving her electric car. She's being watched, so don't freak out. But no questions? Any last things you want to throw at them?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we covered quite a bit, but yeah, for sure. I mean, you can continue even after the video to put questions or comments, and we can always reach back out to you.
If they want to follow you or follow your story, where would they go?
You can go to my personal page at Amanda Noel Garcia or a Vintage Life Design Co. I can put that in here too.
Yep, and that's on Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
all that good stuff. And obviously, you can follow me on social media, Proven by Ruben. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions or anything, then we're going to sign off. Doesn't mean to stop giving us questions, obviously. Throw them in the comments and we'll answer them for you. If you guys could do me one favor, just one favor, please. What do you think I'm going to say? Like it and share it. Share this bad boy. This entrepreneurship thing is tough, and to maybe you guys watch this as a couple together, right? And maybe it sparks questions, but maybe you share it with someone who really needs it right now. Because this thing's not easy, and maybe we can help them down the line or something. But just do me a big favor and share it. Would much appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, drop it below. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.
See ya.